What's up, my loves? My name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and today we're going to be doing my May book haul. Before we get into the haul, I want to let you know that in the description box below there are a few different things. The first is a link to Knox Reader's blog post where she has compiled a list of resources, petitions, donation links, all in response to the Black Lives Matters movement, as well as the general card that's been going around in people's bios, as well as a link to Black booktubers that I think you should go check out because they're absolutely wonderful. But into the 18 things I acquired this month. I'm not going to do them in the order that I got them, rather chunks of places that I acquired them. The first chunk is 5 books from my booktube bestie April from April is Maximus. So she sent me a box of bookish goodies, which I did unbox in a vlog. I'll link that in the cards above. She was unhauling books and holding them up, and Cara and I were saying yeah or no. And yeah, so I've got 5 books from her. The first is an art copy of A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer. This is the second one, the first being A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I need to read A Curse So Dark and Lonely first, but I just loved this copy, and I thought that if she didn't want them, I know that I am going to love them. I just love retellings of any description, so I asked if I could have it. The next one is another one that I think is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and that is Hunted by Megan Spooner. I really don't know anything about this aside from the fact that it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling and the cover was shiny, and so I was like, yeah, can you send it my way? I'm very curious. It seems kind of dark. She didn't love it, which is why she's unhauling it, but I thought, why not give it a chance? The next book she sent me was one that I'd seen as Lauren in the Books favourite, and that is Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. And so you have elements of Groundhog Day where they're repeating lives over and over again until you get it right, and I thought that was a really interesting concept, so I asked if she could send it my way. And the final 2 that she sent me from her unhaul selection were books 1 and 2 in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series by Kerri Maniscalco. So this is book 1, Stalking Jack the Ripper, and book 2, Hunting Prince Dracula. These are following Audrey Rose and her friend Thomas. Audrey Rose wants to be a forensic scientist, and so she asked to work with her uncle, I believe, as he works with the police during the time of Stalking Jack the Ripper, and because she's a woman it's not considered acceptable, so she is trying to navigate those social norms. And the next is following Audrey and Thomas as they are in Romania, I believe. I've read the first one and really enjoyed it, but I haven't read the second one yet, so I'm glad that I have both in matching editions. My Stalking Jack the Ripper was in this tiny little mass market paperback, and it was not fun to use. And then it wasn't in April's unhaul, but she was going to send me the Alcrate version of this book, but then forgot to put it in her little box, so she went and bought me a copy of The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill, and I've wanted this for ages, but I couldn't justify the price of a graphic novel, so she got it for me, and I've read it the day that I got it and absolutely loved it. I thought it was a beautiful story. Everything about this is perfection, and I want everyone to get it and have a copy and just feel all the happiness. The illustrations are beautiful, and yeah, this also has elements of LGBT right. So the next book I got was from Amy, and she sent me one in April, and then this one didn't arrive until May. So yeah, I'll leave a link to her channel in the description box below as well, but that was Tweet Cute by Emma Lord, and by the time this had arrived, I'd already listened to the audiobook of it and had fallen in love, so I was so happy to receive a physical copy of it because I just devoured this story. I thought it was beautiful and sweet. It's following Pepper and Jack as their families have rival food businesses, and they are in a Twitter war. They know each other in person, and their relationship is so messy, but it's so cute. And yeah, if you want a wholesome YA read, I definitely recommend picking this one up. And the final 2 gifts that I have to mention are 2 books that my mum got me as a celebration of finishing my 10 sessions with a psychologist and not having an active diagnosis of any mental illness. So I've previously had mental illness, but no longer is it affecting me in the present, which is kind of amazing. But yeah, to celebrate, we went up to the bookstore and I got to pick up 2 books, and one was definitely a cover buy. I hadn't heard much about it, but I'm really interested to pick it up and read it. I genuinely have no idea what it's about. It was a pure cover buy. And the other is a book by one of my favorite authors of last year. So yeah, the first one is the cover buy, and that is Monstrous Heart by Claire McKenna. Coastal magic, that's all I got for you. I have no idea what this is about, but that cover is beautiful. I love the marine life in With the Lungs, and I'm just curious to know about this story. It sort of gives me Last True Poets of the Sea sort of cover buy. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how this actually goes. The other one that my mum got me was The Search by Beth O'Leary. So this is following Lena and Eileen, a grandmother and a granddaughter, as they decide to switch places. Lena, as she has just blown her job, and so she goes to stay at her grandma's place, and Eileen then decides that she's near 80 and wants to get back on the dating scene, so she moves to Lena's place, and it's their story of how they switch and just following their adventures. And I'm very, very excited to pick this up. I absolutely adore Beth O'Leary's writing, and I love the flight share, so hopefully this will be just as wonderful. And in that same vein, I put out on Twitter that I wanted to celebrate submitting an assignment, which was like the day before my therapy conclusion. So I was like, hey, let me buy a book to celebrate. And Mind of Molly suggested that I get All the Bad Apples by Maura Fowley Doyle, as she had recently acquired it and said, yeah, let's do this. And I was like, okay. So I picked it up. Not sure. Family relationships, by the sounds of it, seems really dark, and I'm here for it. But I have no idea what it's about. So always good. But yeah, very excited to get to this, and also the cover is kind of trippy. So in the vein of really random things that I picked up because people suggested it, Jean from Bookish Thoughts was going through her old childhood books, I suppose, and she came across Michael Rosden's Book of Nonsense, and I thought that it sounded hilarious, and I looked into it and I really wanted to have it in my collection. If I go back into teaching or in a library, then I could refer to this for a poetry course or for my own kids eventually way down in the line. I'll have that there for them because it just seems so funny and random. The next 3 I got, I wanted one in particular, and then I needed to buy more to be able to get free shipping. So the thing that I wanted was the Believeathon 2 compendium, created by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. And yeah, I really, really wanted it, and I saw that there was a price drop in it because originally it was like $45 plus shipping, and so I was like, oh lordy. So yeah, I saw the price drop and was like, well, now's the time to pick this up and some other things. So I got this. I'm so happy. Believeathon was amazing and such a success, and I'm so thankful for Gavin hosting it, and can't wait for round 3 in November. But the other 2 books I got to get free shipping, first I'll talk about is a standalone, and we'll lead into talking about the series continuations that I picked up. And the standalone is Witches of Fashion Rune by E. Latimer. I know this features a bisexual witch that is got OCD and is being recently outed in her small town. So yeah, I'm intending on picking this up this month, and I'm very excited to read it. It sounds absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to read it. And finally in that little box was Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I've read this back in 2018, I think, and I really enjoyed it. I love seeing the different kind of witches that there are, and I've been meaning to continue on with the series, but when I saw that this was like $7 and would tip me over to be able to get free shipping, I was like, yeah, why not? So yeah, this is following Safi and Isolde navigating things when people are after them, because I think it's Safi is a truth witch, and they're really powerful when you can use them against other people. In that vein, leading on to the series continuations, I found Wind Witch for $5, so I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Pick this up, haven't read it yet, really excited to continue on following Safi and Isolde. Not sure where this goes or what happens, but I think it's really cool, and I'm very excited to read this. The next, I got Seventh Heaven, which is the 7th book in the Princess Diaries series, so I'm just slowly collecting them. I think I need like 2 more before I have the whole series. And yeah, I saw Emma Drinking by Myself do a 24-hour readathon and read all of these, and so it re-sparked my love, and I was like, okay, let's go see which one's the cheapest. So I picked this one up. I have only read the first. Next, I got Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jake Kristoff. I'm doing a buddy read with Kyra in April soon, so I wanted to have it, and I really enjoyed Aurora Rising, so I know there's been a bit of criticism about it, and I won't be supporting Jay Kristoff anymore in the future. This is the last book that I'm going to get of his in physical copy. I'm happy to get them from the library, but I won't be giving my own money to him. Final book is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, and this is a prequel to The Hunger Games following President Snow. I have not seen positive things of this, but I still picked it up because I would like to make my own opinion. Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting read. Fingers crossed that it turns out okay. Don't forget to check the description box below for all the links to the Black Lives Matter information and Black booktubers that you should be checking out because they're absolutely wonderful humans. So these are all the books that I acquired in the month of May, after only acquiring 5 books in April. This is a bit, but that's okay. We'll get through them eventually. Let me know in the comments below what was your favourite book that you've picked up this month. Bye!